Actually, that's a little too close, or too far. I'm almost in the rule of thirds. Hell yeah. Hey everybody, it's been a while. If you're wondering where I've been, I first needed to go to MagFest and make my pilgrimage at the Danny DeVito Shrine. And then I was back for like all of 4 days, and I immediately need to go back out again for 2.5 weeks because my wife had a ton of really high-end job interviews, and I was going to do the driving, help her with like planning and everything so she could be at her best because she's been working at this kind of job for 10 years. And I'm not just going to say, oh, hey, go have fun, honey. No, I'm going to be a dutiful husband. And unfortunately, in all this chaos, while I did have videos planned for January, they got a little too big. Like, the playthrough is creeping up on 100 hours now, and I need to finish this game. So I thought, in the meantime, while I'm getting that video out, and then there's actually not one, but 2 Immersive Sims coming out on February the 29th. So I'm hyped for that. Luckily, I got advanced access to one of them. I'm going to do a fun little patron Q&A. And you know what? Also, I realized you guys haven't seen the new office in the big wall of stuff. So we're going to do a real quick office tour, and then I'll get into the questions. Yeah. Alrighty, office tour time. We're kind of in this little nook. This is the entryway. Frisk's feeder used to be here, but I moved it over there, so I stopped kicking it. Chonk sighting. This is a thing, a poem my grandmother gave me when I graduated high school. Very old, because I am very old. Computer, chair, some art of the pseudo-zillers. Then we come here, we have the desk. Not much going on here. And underneath these Patreon Q&As, I try to take notes about the games I play. This is for a video that you'll see soon, and you'll see I'm on my 16th session of this game. And I need to hurry up and finish it. Alright, moving on. We've got a loaf. We've got some old PS2 and Wii games I found, including someone asked on a Mandalore stream if Cabela's Dangerous Hunts was an immersive sim, so possibly April Fools. And then just like stuff, like we got Gran Turismo, what is this, 2011? No, it's not. We got the Narc game, which some of you might remember, where like you abuse confiscated contraband. Tackle box, this is a cool thing. Pro tip, if you've got a lot of minis for D&D and stuff, go get a tackle box at the Bass Pro Shop. It is perfectly sized to hold all your minis, and it's got plenty of compartments. Then we've got a collection of big box PC games I have just for the wall. This guy right here actually works. I just need to download the mod loader, because the only thing wrong with running Simpsons Hit and Run on modern PCs is there's no frame limiters, and a lot of things are tied to frame rate. Then as we're going down here, we got Berserk, story of Nuts Berserk and trying to kill that guy, Peter Griffin. Single best weightlifting book ever. Strength Training Anatomy. I've had it since like, I think 1st or 2nd edition with the blue book. We are on 4th edition with the gray book. Really, if you're getting into weightlifting, I can't recommend some of these like anatomical drawings have them naked, so I can't show you here. But it's just like extremely accurate drawings of like various exercises to give you an idea. Other than that, got the CRT I use to play old games. Got the PS2, got the Wii, got the PS1. Another benefit of that ridiculous setup I did for the Alone in the Dark game is I can now record those, because I've got other things I want to do. Like this guy here I picked up a while back. Oh, don't want to drop that. This is a Warren Spector game, Epic Mickey, and while some of you know how I feel about Disney, I'm not above giving what might be an immersive sim a try, especially based on who made it. And then just to pull this back so you can see, this is the old patron apron, by the way. I still haven't gotten all the names onto the new one because there's just so many names. But we got some of the older Command & Conquers. We got Renegade. We got the Descent trilogy. We've got one of my thank you cards from Wigs for Kids. A little postcard I got from the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid. in Memphis, Tennessee. And then just more stuff, like these are my Dungeons and Dragons, like Dungeon Master Notes, core books, Boo Boo the Owl Bear, a gift from a friend from New York who went to the Poke Center for me. And then I got my Zillers, I got my Not Ziller, I got MagFest passes. I love MagFest. Go every year to pay a visit to the Danny DeVito Shrine. And oh, I almost forgot, speaking of MagFest, over here, I was able to snag a signed poster of the Proto Men and Cybertronic Spree Tour. Didn't get to see that one, but it's really cool. I also have some of the Proto Men's artist John DeLuca's art in my living room, along with this cool print of Bioshock. The original outfit I'm too fat for. Supposed to get into that last year, but I decided, hey, maybe instead of losing weight, I'll just add creatine to the protein shakes. And yeah. This thing, more stuff, Realistic Blood, other Proto Men thing I got signed. The EP for Act 3, got this signed in person. I've been listening to Proto Men for like ages. Like I was like 14 when I first heard them. Spider-Man 300. You know, if you know who appears in that one, you know. Not a super valuable comic, just sentimental to me. A closet. This is where I keep camera gear and clothes. And then we got new prints of Guts and Griffiths here. There used to be another print here, but I changed them out. And now that I moved this to the side, I'm on the fence on if I want to put more art here. Because I've finally got wall space. Because, like, I used to not put art here because Frisk, like, had his feeder there. And then on top of that, like, I use, like, command strips on these. So these are, like, on there, like. So I don't know. Because I don't want to just put up a bunch of stuff if I'm just going to take it down in a couple months. And, yeah. That is The Office. We have seen the entirety of The Office because it's kind of small and not got a lot going on in it. Oh, I know one last thing we could do. Lightning round book reviews. Haven't read it yet, been meaning to. Reading it for the purpose of learning to subvert. Instrumental in learning how to cook. Excellent book. I really love what Simin does here. Book of Jareg. This is the first 3 novels in the Vlad Taltos series. And it's a series very near and dear to my heart. It informs a lot of my own writing. I very much enjoy the works. And I think they're finally going to finish that series soon. Then what else we got here other than the classics? We got some Neil Gaiman novels. If you can see it in there, Roadside Picnic, great read, nothing like Stalker. Metro 2033, pretty good. Then we've got, these are from college, just some basic film books. This is from college, just to have a dictionary, even if it's like a bunch of legal terms. And then, another one. The ultimate book for getting First Amendment people to shut up. This I did not get all the way through because it's just a bunch of psychopath crap. It's like billionaire apologia and like some sociopathic crap. I put it down. I got through the how to win friends and influence people. I could not do the 10 steps to like make leadership, whatever, because just so much. It's like, it's Proverbs, like the analogy, the, what is it, allegorical stories he uses. Oh, this upstart young lad literally starved himself to write love letters to rich people. And, yeah, this is like also a 20, what is this, the 2019 edition? What year is this? No. Where? Revised edition. Oh, this is the 1981 edition. Or revived 1981. But still, there's stuff in here that just like the whole, like, it's blatant billionaire apology. You know, don't. This, however, never split the difference. If you're actually wanting to learn how to, like, negotiate with people, this is actually a pretty good book that teaches you things that doesn't, like, need to jerk off billionaires every 10 seconds. And this is the most cursed tome in the world. This is the book that invented improv comedy. I keep it here so that no one else can take it. And also, we got the lad. Frisk. You sitting on your scratcher? We've also got down here This is called a cat top. My mom got it for him during the holidays. It's a decoy laptop. You can plug it in and it'll like get warm like a laptop, but we don't do that because like he's a big fat boy. Don't want to strain a battery. Yeah, instead of a Windows key, we got a kitty cat. He kind of got bored of it, so I keep it down there. And then we got a toy. You just not feeling it right now, little man? That's okay. I'm going in for a pet. And wow, this is awkward because I'm just sitting here like I just put a cut in the video editor. But I've got here some questions. This is really washed out because I can't do lights to save my life. Frisk is actually here. Hey, do you want to be in the video, saucy boy? I'm gonna make him be in the video. Is this good? Is this good? You're not really in frame. Are you gonna go with it? Are you not feeling it? What are your saucy thoughts? It's okay, little man. If you want to go back to your sitting, you can go back to your sitting. I'm just gonna lean forward. Oh, there he goes. All right, so patron questions. I did these on the Discord and on the Patreon proper. Just I put it out like when I was in the airport at MagFest because I actually got stranded at the airport for about 18 hours. Life happens. So in just order of how they came to me, Zetoslow asked, when, if ever, do you feel like you've quote unquote made it as a creator? And I gotta be honest, I don't know. It's like, well, yes, I do make YouTube videos for a living. I'm not exactly rolling in the dough. If I'm being honest with you, thanks to your guys' help with patronage and all this good stuff, you have allowed me to do this without needing to succumb to sponsorship. I only make about as much as like a tradesman, really. I'm having too much fun with the ring light. I'm so glad I set this up. I couldn't be bothered to get like the folding table and the cloth and the 3-point light set up, but I got the ring light set up because I just love this. Like, yeah, no, I have to do the opposite way with my head. I'm never gonna get through this. But to get back to the question, it's like, yeah, I am a working creator. But as for if I've made it, I don't know what made it means. Does it mean like I have big, stupid FU views on all my videos? Like, do I have like a game featuring me prominently as like a voice role? I don't know. I just know I've gotten to the point where this is sustainable for me. This has allowed me to like pay bills when my wife has gone to school. And there's nowhere to go but up. Yeah, there's slow months. I'm not making much money for this month and January because I literally put out nothing since like December 31st. But the fact that I still got some money to like pay for things and the fact that I can do this, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Part of the reason why I do this is not for fame. It's because it's a consistent job that allows me to take time off whenever I need it so I can be there for my family when my family needs me. Because like I've had people in my life, people that loved me to death, but they worked so much they were never around. And I don't want to repeat that for the people that are close to me in my life. And if I have the opportunity to do a job, well, yeah, I'm not making like, say, I don't know, video game donkey money. He probably makes good money, or I don't know, like content mill money, whatever. As long as I make enough to pay my bills, the real thing I'm more concerned about is being there for my friends and family. And moving swiftly on, Lazarite Feline asks, have you ever lost your cat? We're good. He just went to the living room. But actually, yes. Funny story about that. Not Frisk, but the cat that you know as the Elder Sauce. My cat when I still lived with my parents, like in my house when I was young. We lost him once. We put out posters and everything. We had no idea where he went. It was several days, or I think 1.5 days. It wasn't very long. It was short enough to where we could quickly take down the posters and not have people calling. Because one morning my mom's like, she's going downstairs and like she's using the downstairs bathroom, and she's like so sad about losing Elder Sauce that like she swears she hears him. And it turns out it's actually him. My dad was working on some of the ventilation above like the bathroom, like the bathroom vent, and he had the thing open. And I guess in some time, like when he went to go get lunch or something, the Elder Sauce jumped up in to the ventilation system and was like just hanging out in there. My dad did not see him because he's like a very dark, smoky gray cat. And he closed up the ceiling in the bathroom with him in it. And like, I was beside myself. Like I tore holes in the roof, like the ceiling, trying to get him out. But we got him out. It was like short enough of a time to where like he wasn't seriously like dehydrated or hungry, but he probably wasn't doing very well. And he was right as rain afterwards. So yes, I have lost a cat once in my own house. My cat attempted to immersive sim by hiding out in the vents, but he forgot his lockpicks and couldn't get out. Rodan asks, have you ever played video games? No. Keystroke Cascade asks, any plans to do a purchasable cookbook, digital or otherwise? I know recipes are on a higher patron tier, but I feel bad upping my pledge for just 1 month and canceling. No shade, I'm gonna let you in on a secret about the cooking segments. Well, I do offer, like at the $5 tier, you get a full written recipe. I try to make it a point to where like if you really, really want to do the recipes, I always make sure to show, like I won't physically talk it out, but I'll show like, oh, I'm making a point to show how many teaspoons of this or that I put in, to where if you just look closely, you'll get close enough to reverse engineer it. Because I don't want to paywall cooking. The whole point of me doing cooking segments is to show how accessible cooking is and how you don't need to be a master or go to culinary school. You can just kind of wing it. Like I make it a point, I do not use any kitchen utensil worth more than $50. My knife I use in most of my videos, you can get it for about $7 at Target, and I just like take it to a sharpener every few months and it works great. So as for the actual question though, I don't know. I don't know if I have enough recipes that are mine to do a cooking book yet. And then the issue of publishing. I am about 250 pages deep. Wow, I really have the lights. You can't even see the text on oh, you can kind of see it here, and it's upside down. But yeah, I've been working on a novel just for my own amusement as a passion project since about 2019. I might have it done this year, but I said that for the last 2 years. Maybe 3, I don't know. It's also just because, like, it's really the pleasure of writing. And that's really, if I make a cookbook, that's what it's going to be about, is the pleasure of, oh, these are all the recipes I love. I actually do have a few other YouTuber cookbooks. I have the first Binging with Babish cookbook. My only complaint about that one is there's no table of contents. That's a little weird. Even the official Mountain Dew cookbook had a table of contents. And I think I need at least 100 recipes. Maybe 50, maybe between that. Because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. And, oh shit, did I remember? Oh no! I forgot to do the clapper. I'm a mess. I have to do this all in one day. Because I decided I'm not working on Valentine's Day because I want to spend time with my wife, whom I love dearly. I'm not going to just sit in front of my computer when we can go out and do stuff. That goes back to another question. But moving swiftly on, Red Star asked, what type of game that you enjoy that you have never really talked about? I actually really like Pokemon. I'm not super into the competitive scene, but I really like the PvE they've had since Gen 8. I've played since, my first Pokemon game I owned was Gen 2. I had Pokemon Gold, but like I've played the Gen 1s. I did take a break between Generations 5 and 7, but I play a lot of Pokemon. I also play a lot of Pokemon Go because it gets me out of the house. And also I'm big into the Dark Souls games. Those are also two niches that, I know I cannot hang there. I know the PokeTubing is a very cutthroat business, and I am not cut out for it. I will stay in my weird little niche and play all the weird games you will not hear about in the mainstream. Valerie asks, Arcanum video when? When none of my mods have any sort of Virgil memorabilia on them. Pete Buer asks, What harebrained game that you want to see made but no one would buy but you? Oh, I know. I think someone actually tried to make this, though. But a full-on, like, pizza delivery simulator. Like, being a pizza delivery dude. And, like, being able to stat into things like, hey, do you get athletic enough to where, like, you can hop gates to, like, get in? Or do you, like, have the knowledge to be able to remember or guess gate codes in a community? How is your charisma? Are you, like, friendly enough to earn big tips? That sort of thing. I think somebody might have been working on a game like that for a while. But that would be a very niche game that would be interesting to me, because I delivered for pizza for about 2 years and change back when I lived out west. And before I did this, pizza delivery was like the only job that really like paid the bills, because it was a surprisingly lucrative job. Like if you were good, you could make very good money. And then, oh, we're already on to page 2. Aristotle asked, what's some good non-cooking related quote-unquote dad advice for young men to hear? And I already answered this in the Discord, but I'll say it again for those of you that aren't there. Kindness costs you nothing. It costs you absolutely nothing to remember your pleases, your thank yous, your, like, I'm doing great, how are you doing type deals. Especially, like, when conversing with, like, the poor souls, like, manning a register, or, like, in some sort of service industry. Just remembering that the people that everyone you interact with is an actual human being with feelings and their own dreams. And most of them don't want to be there. No one wants to be at retail. I will second what Mandalore Gaming says and say that this country might be done better, like, if we have mandatory retail or front-end food service, like some countries have mandatory military service, because there's a massive lack of empathy, especially when dealing with people that are quote-unquote serving you. And as a guy who worked a lot of service and like entertainment jobs before landing here, it's really sometimes disgusting how people treat like people just trying to survive. So yeah, just remember, always be kind. Kindness costs you nothing to do. And really just remember that everyone has feelings just like you do. Ziggy Red asks, looking forward to any video games outside the immersive sim genre? Actually, yes, but it's already out. I didn't even realize they made it, but they made a Dragon Quest Monsters 3. It came out late last year. I think it had no advertisements, because I did not see any. But yeah, in case you didn't know, the Dragon Quest series has a Monsters game that's kind of like their answer to Pokemon. And I've loved that game since I was a little kid. Like, I had the first two on my Game Boy and Game Boy Color. And I didn't play the 3DS one because I didn't have a 3DS. But I love that franchise. Like, it's not just Pokemon. I just kind of love, like, the monster collection games. Thryrork asked, you have the talent and money. What game do you revive from times past? Bonus round, what movie do you revive? No movies. Really, that's just, it's never been a good idea. There are very few reboots, if at all, that have ever turned out well. What game do I revive from times past? What dead franchise that isn't in the works, like BioShock? Apparently we've been working on a BioShock game for ages. You guys have got tough ones this time around. Maybe something here. Oh, I'm looking right at it. The Free Space franchise. I want a Free Space 3. They tried to make a board game through Kickstarter. I think it was successful, but I'd love to see them make like a good old-fashioned mission-based starfighter simulator. Not this, like, I don't know what's happening with Squadron 42. Apparently it's like feature complete or whatever, but we haven't seen anything from it. It's attached to Star Citizen, which is like the poster child of scope creep. But I'd love to see a continuation of the Free Space series. Like, I know it kind of ended on a very definitive note, but I just love to see more of it. Like, in case you didn't know, there were the so-called six-axis shooter. I did not warm up for this. There are the so-called six-axis shooters like Descent, which I have the whole trilogy here behind my apron. And then they spun off Descent into a more story-driven game called Free Space, and then Free Space 2. And those are some of my favorite games of all time. I'd love to see them come back. Cognito Hazard asks, what do you think is the easiest game to replay? For example, if I can't figure out what to play, I just go through Fear. OG Bioshock. I try to make a point of playing it every year. I will one day make a video about OG Bioshock. I'm thinking about revisiting my video on Bioshock 2 because I wasn't very clear in a lot of my stuff about how the main argument of it is, how do you top something that is arguably one of the greatest games of all times? Where do you go from there? But I got enough on my plate. I'm already behind on Halloween in July because the other thing is that big job interview trip we did paid off in spades, and now there's like several organizations like fighting over who gets to hire like my wife and how much money they're gonna throw at her, which means we are moving in a few months. Like I am already in the process of finding us a new home, figuring out like our services like utilities, like getting everything like bookended here and then ready to go there so we hit the ground running. Because when I moved out here to the Midwest, that was height of pandemic. I was not able to like really go to any of the places, and we just moved into a place. And the place we originally lived in was so bad, it's the first and only time we ever terminated a lease because we were like fearful for our health and well-being based on how poorly maintained the building was. So that's going to be a lot of planning on top of planning the Halloween in July. I actually, in my bedroom right now, because it was cluttering up the office for like filming, I have all the aprons for the Halloween in July patron awards. I'm making them now because I know when we move to where we're going to move, they don't have the same facilities as I have here to like make them. So I got to do them now. And I'm just in the process of getting everything ready for a big move. On top of making videos for now, making the Halloween in July videos, making the Halloween in July rewards, trying to lose weight. But it's kind of paradoxical when you like cooking and weightlifting. I'm stronger than I've ever been before. I finally cleared 3 plates and change on my deadlift, but I'm also a big boy. And finally, we have Andre Koretsky asks, have you ever considered personally creating or being involved with developing an immersive sim or any other video game? The most I do is like a cameo voice role. I know I have no actual game development or games industry experience. That's why I am the Charlatan wonder. And I do not want to be some meddlesome presence or some sort of ego involved in a project. The most I'd like to do is support a project, use what little weight I have to throw around to like show you guys Kickstarters of promising games and helping out developers where I can. But I have no game development skills. I don't have any coding skills, no modeling, no animating, no producing, no audio for like games. I have no business in a game studio. I can give feedback as a player, but I should be nowhere near computers used to make games. I should only be near computers used to make YouTubes. And that's all of them. Thank you so much. I have to edit this way down because I was very rambly, but it's nice to see you guys again. And hopefully by the end of this month, the big video that I started as kind of a joke comes out and you guys will enjoy it. So, see you then. Sir, you've been on the gym bag, but now you're in the gym bag. What a silly boy. You can't come with me to the weight room. You don't have thumbs. You couldn't grip the bar. What a silly little boy. A silly little boy doing silly little sits, getting silly little scritches. What do I have in here that I can wow you with? Oh, that's just chalk in my hygiene kit, like my shampoo and what have you, because you can't be leaving the gym with greasy hair, Frisk. Gotta get all that sweat off you. Because excessive sweat after the gym is icky. You're a clean boy. You're cleaning yourself all the time. You know all about hygiene. But seriously, what compelled you to do this? Why are you in here? What are you plotting? I don't think there's anything. Okay, that are running shoes, flippy flops for the locker room because there's an important game you play in the gym locker room called The Floor is a Staph Infection. Do not touch it with your bare skin. You've got like padded paws and stuff, so you should be good, but still. Maybe we'll get you some gym flippy flops for when it's time to shower. Oh no, you're leaving. Are you just adjusting yourself? What's the move here? Are you just gonna live in this bag now? Am I gonna take you to the gym and be like, hey, here's this cat. Let's see how much he squats. Okay, he is getting done with this joke, but I'm gonna get one more pet. You're in my bag. I can pet you all I want. You silly.